Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to the Cruise News. All right, I got a couple cruise news stories for you today, and we're going to start off with Margaritaville at sea because they have got a new cruise ship, bringing them to a total of 2 cruise ships. But with this new cruise ship, they are actually going to move to a new home port, and they're going to pick up new and longer itineraries. Well, new and longer for them. Currently, they only have 1 cruise ship sailing out of Palm Beach, only does 1 and 2 night sailings to the Bahamas. So a new home port and longer itineraries, well, it's definitely new for them. So their new cruise ship is going to be the Margaritaville at Sea Islander, used to be the Costa Atlantica, which is a Spirit class ship, similar to Carnival Spirit. She is going to be home ported in Tampa, Florida, doing 4 and 5 night cruises that include places like Key West, Progreso, and Cozumel, Mexico. Now, the ship is undergoing renovations to give it that Margaritaville style, and the first cruise is currently scheduled for June 14th of 2024. But if you are interested in sailing on the new Margaritaville ship, then the bookings are already available. You can go over to their website and book your next cruise on Margaritaville at sea. Carnival Cruise Lines, they have officially taken possession of their 3rd XL class ship, the Carnival Jubilee. Now, the Carnival Jubilee will begin her transatlantic sailing, heading towards her eventual home port of Galveston, Texas, scheduled to be there on December the 20th, with her first sailing on December the 23rd. Now, while she already has crew on board, she will not have any passengers on board until her inaugural sailing on the 23rd. But the crew members are on board, learning the ship, learning their roles, getting used to everything, getting familiar with everything. So hopefully the inaugural sailing will go off really smooth and not too many hiccups the first time she takes passengers on board. And finally, well, we had some fog delays this past Sunday. Fog came in really thick in both Tampa and Mobile, Alabama, and along the Gulf of Mexico, particularly in the winter months. That's not uncommon. The warm air from the south impacts the cooler air coming from the north, and it creates fog. And that created a delay for the Carnival Pride going into Tampa and the Carnival Spirit going into Mobile, Alabama. So the Carnival Spirit got in about 11 o'clock. The Carnival Pride was finally able to get in around 3 o'clock once the ports reopened. And of course, a late disembarkation means a late embarkation. Also means that there's probably some people on those ships that were worried or very possibly missed their flights out, headed back home. And of course, the people waiting to embark on the ship, they're getting impatient, they're getting grumpy, they're standing in lines. Even though cruise lines send out the email saying, hey, you're gonna have a late embarkation, do not arrive to the cruise port until such and such time. You know how it goes. People still arrive early, they're stuck in line waiting, and they're upset and they're unhappy. Now, delays due to weather, they're not uncommon. I think the thing to take away from all of this is, look, if you are disembarking off the ship, this is why we always say, don't book the earliest flight home possible. You want a late afternoon towards an evening flight to always be on the safest side you possibly can. Because if you were on the Carnival Pride that didn't get there till 3 o'clock, and you had a flight, 12, 1, 2 o'clock, you missed that flight. And I get it. You're anxious to get off the ship, get to the airport, get home, get unpacked, and relax. I feel the same way. But anytime we fly, I usually pick a flight that's 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the evening heading back home. I know I'm going to have to sit in the airport. I know that I'm going to have to get a little nap in before we get on that plane, but I'd always rather be safe than sorry, which is why we always say try to book a later flight. And I think that is the best takeaway that you can possibly have from this, because like I said, weather delays, they happen. The cruise line cannot control it. The ports are closed. They can't go in. There is nothing that they can do. And so as cruise passengers, we have to, plan the best we can, anticipate the best we can, because honestly, a little bit of a wait at the airport is better than missing your flight altogether, at least in my opinion. And if you're embarking on the ship, well, sometimes things like this happen and you just have to have a little bit of patience. All right, and that's our cruise news video for today. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day, and like always, we will see you out on the high seas.